The Legion Go is glorious, amazing, awe-inspiring, spectacular, janky, messy, and perhaps worst of all, abandoned. No product is perfect upon release, that is a fact, but it's how a company behaves after releasing a product that is what matters most. And Lenovo, for almost a full year, no, it's been a full year now, has dropped the ball time and time again, and that's baffling because the Legion Go has the potential to wipe the floor with all of its competitors. But as things stand right now, it's a good investment for a very specific group of people and no one else. Because if Lenovo doesn't give a shit about the Legion Go in its very first year of existence, then what hope does this device have in year 2, 3, and so on? Next to none. And so with that in mind, the Legion Go, for a very specific group of people, people with specific wants and needs, and the willingness to put in the work to make this device into what it can be, to really harness its full potential, they're gonna love it. Like the Legion Go, for those people, is gonna be the next best thing since sliced bread. Everyone else, however, should basically just buy either a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally. And that makes me sad. The Legion Go as a device is absolutely spectacular, but it does have a few very specific, very important footnotes you need to be aware of before buying it. By the way, just to make things clear, I have absolute praise for the Legion Go and nothing but unfiltered hate for Lenovo. Like, there's a difference. In the ROG Ally video, I had the good, the bad, and the what the f***. Legion Go, however, warrants a different angle. So we're gonna have who should buy the Legion Go, who should not buy the Legion Go, and who the f***, as in who the f*** thought this was a good idea, and who the f*** hasn't been doing their job all this time. Also, if you're fed up with my face or voice or both, make sure to click on the appropriate chapter to find the thing you want. Let's begin. The Legion Go experience contains many ups and downs, many highs and lows and holy shit moments. The only problem is none of them are actually consistent. The moment you buy this thing, you immediately become aware of why Lenovo has been the #1 OEM for like a bajillion years. They know how to build a high-quality computing product, and Legion Go is no exception at all. And it all begins with the unboxing. Like, this box, oh my god, Lenovo had to cut down like 7 trees for this thing. It is glorious. And then you grab the Legion Go and you just feel a sensation in your groin akin to an orgasm. It is out of this world. It is so well built. It's built like a tank. It puts the Steam Deck and ROG Ally to shame. It's that good. Those devices feel like toys compared to the Legion Go. It's chunky, it's thick, it's heavy, it's wide, it's huge. But because the weight distribution is so immaculate, like, at no point did I feel it being too heavy for me. And like, you can see me, I'm not a buff dude, I barely have shoulders, only my right bicep is strong-ish, but it felt just right to me, which is strange because I prefer smaller devices. The Miu Minis, the PS Vitas, the Switch Lites, but this is so tremendously large that it gives you a different kind of gaming experience. And it's worth buying just for that alone. And it all boils down to the display. Oh my god, what a display. You like superlatives? It's amazing, it's mind-blowing, it's orgasmic, it's insert any superlative here. It's that good. And the fact that people haven't praised it enough pisses me off, because this thing puts everything else to shame. This panel is, it's so good. Oh my god, it's one of the best IPS panels I've ever seen. Every other handheld gaming PC pales in comparison. It's really that good. The jump from the OG Steam Deck to the ROG Ally is a quantum leap. But the jump from the ROG Ally to the Legion Go is almost as big of a leap, and that really boggles the mind. Every game that can run at 2K at 60 plus frames per second, to say nothing of 100 plus, feels and looks better than you can possibly imagine. The PPI on the Legion Go is like a bajillion pixels. It's insane. It feels like you're gaming in front of a big-ass TV, and that TV is always right up your face. It's incredible. And whenever I game on a different device, I feel this tinge of sadness, this like I'm missing out, because I am. This display really spoils you. If I'm not mistaken, it uses the exact same panel that's on the Lenovo Legion Y700 gaming tablet, and needless to say, the panel slays. And so from a distance, from a spec sheet perspective, you would think that the Legion Go is the best choice for most people. It has 2 USB-C ports, both of which are USB 4. It has an amazing built-in kickstand. Oh my god, every device should have one. The controls are fantastic. Other than the biggest piece of shit D-pad I've ever seen or used, it is offensive. It's that bad. But we're not gonna talk about it. Overall, this device has everything you could want or need, right? No, it does not. Once you start using it on a daily basis, that's when the shit begins. The Legion Go is the buggiest, jankiest, messiest, most abandoned handheld gaming PC of them all. It is so abandoned. Lenovo has done such a shitty job that it's almost comical. Like it makes so little sense that you cannot help but laugh. It's a tragedy. If you want these unnecessary things like a convenient user experience, a seamless UX, a nice UX, software updates, GPU drivers that are actually up to date, transparency, a roadmap, if you want any of these things, which by the way should be guaranteed given who's making it and given how much this thing costs, you're not gonna get any of them. Any whatsoever. Do you know when the last GPU driver came out? Like 6 months ago. What? How is that possible? The Legion Go is the most abandoned handheld gaming PC out there. And it doesn't make sense because this is Lenovo. They know what they're doing. They have the manpower. They have the money. Like, what's happening? It's so bad. If you're willing to put in the work to really harness the full potential of the Legion Go, to sideload GPU drivers, to use Bakelite, to dual boot preferably, to maybe, I don't know, use Handheld Companion, to buy the right accessories, to tinker and tweak and tune like your life depends on it, you're gonna love it. It's really amazing. But the problem I have with this is that you have to do those things. Otherwise, you're in for a rude awakening. You have to do these things to get the full potential out of a device that costs 600, 700, 800 euros in dollars. How is that fair? If you want the most flexible handheld gaming PC on the market, the Lenovo Legion Go is arguably your best choice. You can use it as a Windows tablet, as a laptop, as a handheld gaming PC. You can use it as a mini PC replacement. It can do everything. It's a jack of all trades and a master of none. But you do have to be fair. It can do all of those things, and it is wide and humongous, right? But once you take off the controllers, it's actually smaller than an ROG Ally, which is amazing, right? If you're traveling, if you're commuting, this thing can actually be the smallest gaming PC companion you can have, which is no small benefit. Whenever a device like this comes out, people move incredibly fast. They need like 2 weeks to figure out how to tweak and tune and optimize each and every single setting to fully harness the potential of any given device. That was true with the Steam Deck, with the ROG Ally, the Ally X, but not the Legion Go. Some people say that Bakelite runs amazingly well. Others say that Bakelite runs like shit. They have crashes and shutdowns. It's almost perfect, but not really there. It's not ready for mass adoption. It's not ready to be daily driven. Some people say the Handheld Companion runs perfectly, but others do not. And also, a few months ago, during one of the Handheld Companion releases, it soft-bricked a bunch of Legion Go's. Now, they were soft bricks, right? But like those people who used Handheld Companion had to wait for a fix. I'm not sure, like a week, 2, 3, 4, but like, that's not ideal, right? Do not buy a Legion Go if you want a seamless user experience. Do not buy a Legion Go if you expect it to work flawlessly out of the box. It most likely will not. Do not buy a Legion Go unless you want to support a company that will not support you. Do not buy it. Do not buy a Legion Go if you favor things like price to performance, because the Legion Go will perform nearly identically as the ROG Ally. You can buy a used ROG Ally for like 370 euros in most European countries. That is an insane value for a very palatable price tag. Do not buy the Legion Go if you like your devices to be silent, because if you push it to 30 watts, this thing sounds like a jet engine, like a Boeing 747 taking off. It's insane. Do not buy a Legion Go if you want a device that has adequate cooling, because this thing can get toasty fast. Like seriously fast. With the Legion Go, you will be paying a premium. For what? For the build quality, for the amazing display, and arguably for the detachable controllers, which you may or may not need. And all of this brings us to the who the fuck section, as in who the fuck has been doing their jobs all this time, and by the looks of it, that's a lot of people working at Lenovo. It's painfully obvious that Legion Go did not sell nearly as well as it had to for Lenovo to give a shit about it, and that kills me inside because this thing is amazing. It has so much potential, and yet none of it will probably ever be realized. It's been a full year, and this thing is marginally better. It's barely any better than it was upon release a year ago. If you compare that to how much the Steam Deck and ROG Ally grew, oh my god, Lenovo, what are you doing? It's also obvious that a really small, overworked, underpaid team works on Legion Go, and they can only do so much. There's this guy, Ben, he gives us updates, and he's basically just buying time. He's basically saying, we're sorry, we understand your anger, your impatience, we understand that Legion Go is not growing at a pace you would like it to. But like, Ben, I don't give a shit. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Me and thousands of people gave a lot of money for this thing, expecting the bare minimum, and we did not get it whatsoever. And in this bubble called YouTube, no one's really talking about the Legion Go because no one's really using it, like actually using it. Everyone's using a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally or an Ally X because they're just better. They're just better, they're more polished, they require less work. Supposedly Lenovo plans on supporting the Legion Go for many years to come, but like, dude, if you're shipping out an update per year or two, and they're not even polished and they break stuff all the time, is that really a triumph? No, it's not! The Logitech G Cloud, a specific device that is designed just for streaming games, received more updates than the Legion Go within a year. And how many people own a G Cloud? I do, and like 7 dudes from Mozambique. I love it, by the way. I'm working on a review. It's gonna come out in the next 7 years, probably. On paper, the Legion Go has everything it takes to really dominate the market. But it's never gonna get there because Lenovo doesn't care. And now, a bunch of warranted hate. Legion space is a type of hell you will not want to inflict on your worst enemy. It is an abomination. It is a Temu-looking piece of shit that barely works. It takes a lifetime to load. God forbid you press on the Legion space button while gaming. Oh my god! And I'm showing you the first Legion space because that's what people had to put up with for like 8 months or something. It is horrendous. It barely works. In comparison, Armory Crate is a masterpiece, is a work of art, to say nothing of SteamOS. Now sure, it wasn't amazing from day one, but it grew at a rapid pace. Someone put in the effort. That's the whole point. I hate it when companies try to reinvent the wheel. If you cannot do it yourself, Lenovo, imitate. You have many amazing examples. Do not attempt because you're not skilled enough. At one point, and I shit you not, my Legion space, for no reason whatsoever, out of the blue, shifted to Chinese. Now I'm bilingual, right? Okay, hurrah for me. But like, Chinese is way above my head. I mean, come on, man. Handle it, download Duolingo, learn Chinese in 10 minutes. Good luck, friend. And I'm not the only one either, like, come on, what's happening? My Legion Go shut down multiple times while playing Hades 2. I would think, like, if I'm playing Cyberpunk at like 30 watts, yeah, sure, it can get toasty. Hades 2 at 20 watts with random shutdowns, that's not good. And that led me to realize that my fan inside the device had accumulated an inhumane, illogical amount of dust. And I'm not the only one. Reddit is filled with people whose Legion Go's got so impossibly dusty within like 3 to 5 months and their temperatures rose through the roof. And that should not be happening within that time frame. Now, I do not live in Dubai. I live in a third world country. I do not leave the apartment. I live like a hermit. None of my other devices had so much dust within a year or 2 or 3, but Legion Go had this impossible amount within 3 to 5. And that's, how? And the software side of things is a mess. Oh my god. Custom TDP may or may not work for you depending on which BIOS you're on. Someone says it works on STT, someone else says it doesn't work on STT, but it does work on stamped, but only on this BIOS. It's just an absolute mess. The FPS counter, the built-in FPS counter also works here, but it doesn't work there. It's like, these are basic functions. These things should work out of the box. I'm not asking for much. Like, people are pissed off. A lot of people are pissed off. Like, give us the bare minimum. We're paying a premium for this product. And yes, you can use other well-known tools to get around these flaws and quirks and whatever. But like, you shouldn't have to do that to get such basic features to work. Like, what's happening? Then there's the often praised FPS mode. Oof, man, whoever came up with this should get a raise. That's a fact. Whoever implemented this and designed the hardware around it, in my opinion, subjectively, should get fired. It's, oh my god, it is the definition of a gimmick. The puck that you get inside the box has such weak magnets and the connection is so feeble, so unimpressive, it feels wrong. Also, each controller has a bajillion buttons on it that when you're using it that way, it feels like you're aiming with a pineapple. It's so unnatural. There's always something sticking into each part of your hand and your palm and your fingers. It's so weird. Like, if you're one of the 10 people around the globe who has a use case for this, and I am legitimately, unironically happy for you, but this should never have been praised as this unique feature that people will use to climb the ranked ladder in Warzone, in Valorant, in whatever. It's meh at best. And also, it's like these random things, like Lenovo took a full year to come out with these accessories. This is embarrassing. They literally went to a random Chinese company, an AliExpress type deal, bought a bunch of random looking, the most basic generic docks they could find for the cheapest amount of money. They slapped a logo and they charge a premium for it. Like, they're literally blocking the bottom USB-C port. What? They're also selling this. Official Legion Go skins for 49 euros a piece.
What the f***, Lenovo?
How is this normal? Do you get what I mean? Like, who came up with this? And they're also supposedly working on a Legion Go Lite? A Legion Go Lite that is smaller with no detachable controllers? Who asked for this? Lenovo, a Legion Go Lite exists. It's called an ROG Ally. And you can buy it for a lot less money than the Legion Go, and presumably the Legion Go Lite once it sees the light of day. God forbid it ever comes out. Like, who's making these business decisions? Like, no. One guy described Legion Go as a blonde bombshell with the personality of a daft chihuahua, and that is spot on. The Legion Go is not necessarily a handheld gaming PC. It can be whatever you want it to be, but it requires work. And that's perfectly fine. The problem I have is you're paying a lot of money for a device that does not excel at any one thing specifically. Now, maybe you want a jack of all trades, in which case you're gonna love the Legion Go. I want to be fair, but like, if you want a flexible, a device that just works, or requires a reasonable amount of tinkering like the ROG Ally, this is not it. I didn't even touch on the Windows-related bullshit and jankiness that the Legion Go also has, but it's that plus everything else, which for me personally, it's just like, dude, come on, like, help me out a bit. I can do these things. I've been building PCs for over 15 years. I've been emulating games since 2002, since the days of SNES 9X, when a family friend gave me Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 2 on a floppy disk. But I'm also jaded, and I value my time right now a lot more than I did in the past because I have so little of it. I can tinker, I can tweak, I can tune, but don't force me to do it. Give me a rationally usable experience out of the box, and then I will handle the rest. And I'm also not okay with companies marketing these devices as if they're user-friendly. They're not. They're for the tech-savvy, especially the Legion Go, because you really need to know your shit to really navigate through the sea of bugs and jankiness. I think of all the many people who bought this thing thinking it's gonna be a seemingly fleshed out experience, and it's not. Like, look at this image for the ROG Ally X. Do you really think that these two dudes will be sideloading GPU drivers after they're done with their croissant? What's the word? It insults me how little Lenovo is trying, and I do not plan on ever buying a Legion Go 2 or Lite or whatever, because I do not want to support a company that cares so little, that is constantly giving excuses through a few random dudes on some random forum. That's not okay, especially not considering the fact that you can get a very respectable experience elsewhere. I think we're still so blown away by the fact that we can play our favorite games on the go, in the bed, on the couch, on the toilet, that we are willing to give these companies a pass. We should not be doing that whatsoever. We give them an inch, they will take a mile. Because they want to cut corners. They want to give us the bare minimum and then lower that minimum over time so that no one notices. That's what's been happening. I'm not okay with that. What are your thoughts on the Legion Go? Do you have one? Do you want one? If yes, do you like it? If no, why not? I'm personally just sad because it could have been so much better, and Lenovo doesn't give a damn, and this is the kind of device that I wanted to keep for the years to come, and it's just not there yet, and it probably will never be there. So yeah, that makes me sad. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you could please, I'm begging, like, comment, subscribe, do anything you possibly can to appease the algorithm. And yeah, I have a bunch more planned, an Ally X review, a Switch Lite video, a G Cloud video, a bunch of stuff, and hopefully I'll get to it really soon. Thank you for watching.